So we're trying to build, this might be a little outside the scope of really what you usually talk about, but if the people listening are familiar with what I call like our agentic harnesses, but essentially it's a folder, right? This is, people use this big language. I'm coming from the engineering world. I'm sensitive to this because I think people try to speak like this to talk over you. And when someone says like a harness, it's just a folder system with a set of instructions. And I just show all of the people this, all like, it's just a folder. There's an agent folder, there's a memory file, and you can make them more advanced, but at the core, that's what it is. And you set up some routines and cron jobs and some automations, but that is really what an agent is. And then you plug in different intelligence. And so I'm getting to my point, but I just like baseline understand what this is. So let's say you have I don't know, a keyword research agent that is, you've given it its Ahrefs, maybe you've given it Ahrefs API, you've given it some other, it gets backlink data, search data. You can build that agent, and when you run it, maybe you can interface it with it in many different ways. Let's say you're interfacing it through Claude, and when you interface it, it goes out and does those things. And so the way that my company is transitioning, as you talk about workflows, is we're trying to make a company-wide agent harness, meaning that every area of the business can plug and play with different intelligence. So we have like visual regression AIs where we're looking to see if a client change, right? Our clients like to have access to their site. And so we run that once a day. It just visually looks it over, compares it to the day before. It says, hey, something visually no longer makes sense. It pings a developer, right? It's just watching, it's not making changes. So we're trying to build these types of agent harnesses across the business that as you have a lot of people listening here that do SEO, understand how buried in data you are all the time, how many spreadsheets and historic data, and you're trying to look at trends and how do you make better decisions. And so that's where we're implementing AI, is not making decisions, but surfacing some issues faster so that we as the experts can make those decisions quicker. So yeah, maybe a little outside the scope, but that's a workflow that workflows. It's kind of pretty much touching every area of our business at this point. The hardest one to be able to crack has been design. They do it, but they don't do it like, and this is dependent on your clients. Like if you want to order a Fiverr website, AIs can pretty much, they're all going to do better than that now. But if I'm assuming with you, definitely with like my company, if you're going to order or you're going to work with us for a website, you're going to get a creative director. You're going to, you're going all in on what your hopes and dreams are. And so AI really is not quite there yet on the design side. It looks good to an untrained eye, but if you show that to a creative director, like, that's not quite there. But other side, the technical, the data side, we are finding a lot of use cases right now.
Yeah, a lot of these AI generated websites, you can kind of tell they have a certain look to them unless you really feed in and it ingests a lot of the client data. And so like the ingesting of the models per the client, and then the clients come in and say, well, I actually don't like the voice. I don't like the posts on social. I don't like my website language. I need to redo it all. And I was like, well, AI is not going to give us the leverage here that we were looking for. And they're like, no, I'm looking for a total revamp. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, you need a creative director. You need to do all these things. But if you're like trying to like keep going with what you got, like there's some really good opportunities. I really liked actually where you were going. Like, so, I mean, APIs, like they're so helpful. Like there's, the secrets, there's the keys, like talk for baseline for people. Basically, you're just giving it tools and access to do all this stuff. And then you can build different skills or a way to utilize this data or orchestrate what's happening with the agents out.